I want your soul.
Rock and Cody Rhodes just can never have a regular segment together. There's always some weird energy in the air, but we're not here to talk about that. We are here to talk about who is going to sell their soul to The Rock. I do think this is going to culminate at WrestleMania, and I do have 3 names that I think can sell their souls to The Rock. One of those names has the most compelling story, but we'll get into that. But before we do get into the video, y'all know what to do. Turn on the post notifications, like, comment, subscribe. Also, click the link down in the description for the Discord link for BTBC. And I'm also going to put down there the YouTube link to where we do our podcast every Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. Come tune in, chill with us, talk about wrestling. Also, all my social media links are going to be down in the description, and they're also going to be up here in the video. But without further ado, now let's get into the video. So the first name I have in mind is Drew McIntyre. I think this is an easy person that you can turn around and have him sell his soul to The Rock. He's already a heel, so it makes a lot of sense. And also, he's had a little bit of like shaky booking, so he does make a lot of sense. But I will give you like the best reasons as to why he can sell his soul to The Rock. And I think there's a couple of different things that point as to why he could, right? So the first thing is, if you remember back when Drew McIntyre was in talks for his new contract, the person who gave him his contract was The Rock, right? And he's also the person, The Rock is also the person that gifted him a sword, right? The other thing is, on the Monday Night Raw on Netflix, right, the first one on Netflix, which obviously I think was January 6th, if I'm not mistaken, there was a Instagram live that The Rock had, and he had a conversation with Drew McIntyre, and there were some whispers that we couldn't hear. We couldn't really hear the conversation clearly. I'll take care. But maybe that is something to look at, just because like those two guys do have a connection, not really so much on screen, but they have a connection backstage. And Drew McIntyre just makes sense, man. Like, this is think about the Bloodline Hunter story. Like, he could definitely take down the Bloodline as the guy for The Rock, right? His champion, right? Drew McIntyre, his character is one of those guys that would sell out, right? Like, come on. Look at his character.
No. I bought in.
He will take the high road every day of the week. He doesn't care. And you can literally bring back the Bloodline Hunter story, because I do think the end all be all, the end game in this story is The Rock taking down Roman Reigns and officially cementing somebody else not named Roman Reigns as the top guy, which would be whoever his champion is. That would be the guy at the mountaintop, and Drew McIntyre would just be the perfect person to do that. Take down Roman Reigns, take down the Bloodline, and then you got your new guy at the top. This is a story that could develop over the next year, 2 years, 3 years. But like I said, I think it's just too easy for the WWE to do, because it's something that everybody would expect. Now, the next 2 guys are names that people are like, okay, this would be a little bit more of a swerve, especially the next guy I'm about to talk about, and that is CM Punk. Okay, so CM Punk is a very, very interesting name, right? And for various reasons, right? This is a guy that, just like Stone Cold Steve Austin, has always been against authoritative figures, right? When Stone Cold Steve Austin was going through his run, from 98 to 01 at WrestleMania 17, after so many years battling with the McMahons, Vince McMahon, he finally gave in and sold his soul to Vince McMahon. It has kind of been the same thing for CM Punk over the last 12 years. Obviously he wasn't in the company from about 2014, well, mid 2014 to about late 2023. But for so many years of his WWE career, he's always been against authoritative figures.
With what's going on right here, it's time we put our card. No, shut your mouth. You're gonna listen to me.
That's always been his belief. And yeah, you could bring up the Paul Heyman stuff, but Paul Heyman's not an authoritative figure. He's just a managerial figure. He's just a manager. That's it. Has nothing to do with authority, not like The Rock or Triple H. Okay, so this is something that he literally goes against. This would be so clever if he were to turn heel and align himself with The Rock. The Rock is also the same person who 12 years ago took his main event from him. Now, if you really think about, the story here, right? what is the two things that CM Punk is obsessing about? Well, there is only one thing that he does talk about, and that is main eventing WrestleMania. Obviously, his obsession over that grows and grows as the days go on. He really wants to main event a WrestleMania, something he's never done. But the other thing that he obsesses about is being the top guy. CM Punk in his tenure with the WWE, whether it was his last tenure or this tenure, he's never been the top guy, especially in his last tenure. When he had the 434-day reign as WWE champion, John Cena was the top guy. John Cena was the guy main eventing pay-per-views. CM Punk was co-maining or, somewhere thrown around in the middle of the show. He was never viewed as that guy. Also, back in the day when CM Punk used to do media for the WWE, he used to show up kind of like however, in shorts, sweats, whatever, right? Nowadays, if you see the way he's showing up in suits, kind of, buying in to the authority, buying into that higher power, right? CM Punk could realistically turn heel at WrestleMania. So this is how I think it could go, right? Okay, John Cena wins the Chamber. CM Punk is pissed off again because he's not going to the main event of WrestleMania. He's not facing Cody Rhodes, but there is still that favor
that Paul Heyman now owes you.
Oh.
is about.
No.
Now, who is Paul Heyman aligned with? The Rock. He has alignment with The Rock. So he could gift CM Punk the main event while also talking to The Rock, which leads to potentially, I'm not going to say a triple threat, although it could be a triple threat, but let's just say CM Punk, John Cena, night one of WrestleMania. You start to see some heel tendencies from CM Punk, and then CM Punk wins that match, goes on to night two, main event of WrestleMania, faces Cody Rhodes for the WWE Undisputed title, and that's where he turns heel by aligning himself with The Rock. Now, this story is so compelling. The only thing is that it's only a story that you can tell within a year and a half, because there's not really many different avenues outside of like the John Cena story. You could tell another version of the Cody Rhodes story. You could tell a Seth Rollins story. You could tell a Roman Reigns story, but I think all of those you can do within a year and a half, maybe 2 years, right? What makes it so interesting is that, think about, when CM Punk came back in 2023, people had been chanting his name for well over 10 years. That they've been clamoring for him back. The people, the casual people, I think just about anybody loves CM Punk. This would literally shatter everybody's hearts if CM Punk were to turn heel. Now, there's another thing that points to CM Punk turning heel. If you really think about the promo that he had with Cody Rhodes, I mean, come on. Y'all know what it is. Right before the Rumble this year.
And because I'm your one true friend, I'm gonna stab you in the front.
That promo makes so much sense. He said that to Cody Rhodes. And then the one last thing that I will bring up is he had hopped on a podcast in October before his match with Drew McIntyre, and he had hopped on the No Contest Wrestling podcast with O'Shea Jackson. O'Shea had asked him, could we potentially see you turn heel in this current run that you're in right now? What CM Punk had to say was, ask me in about 6 months. Now, if you think October, 6 months from October is April. What's in April? WrestleMania. Maybe I'm reaching a little bit, but could it be that he sells his soul and turns heel? Lines up with The Rock, creates the corporation? I'm just saying, it's something that could realistically happen. But now moving away from CM Punk, I think the most compelling story goes to Cody Rhodes. Now, Cody Rhodes is compelling because of the amount of the stories that you could tell. Obviously, he's had so much stories with Roman Reigns and just the whole bloodline, but you can even tell it even more after he turns heel, and it completely changes the dynamic. Could you imagine a fully babyface Roman Reigns, one of the biggest baby faces in the company, Roman Reigns, against one of the biggest heels in the company, Cody Rhodes? It completely switches the dynamic from a heel Reigns and a face Cody. Now you got a super heel Cody Rhodes and a super baby face Roman Reigns. It's just a completely different dynamic. But like I said earlier in the video, the end game is the downfall of Roman Reigns, right? And who is somebody who is right next to Roman Reigns in terms of like faces of the company? Cody Rhodes. What does Cody Rhodes want to do? He wants to be the sole face of the company. And him aligning himself with The Rock could place him right there, right? Because over the next couple of years, the next 2 to 3 years, we could tell this story of Cody Rhodes finally making his ascension to being the lone star of the company. I mean, the story literally writes itself. And it would be a swerve to fans because he's been such a great babyface, and people are saying he's having this like John Cena type of babyface run, and it's true to a certain extent. You know, that the crowd loves him, and he's just doing everything Cena used to do, like the Superman type of stuff. You know, he's for the kids. He does all these things for families, and you know, I mean, the way he performs in his matches, it's like Cena. It's like Super Cena, right? So for a guy like that to turn face, but you got to think he's been a face in the WWE for about 3 years. At some point, it's going to get old and boring, and I think the WWE wants to capitalize on that, and they want to turn him heel before he gets stale. Not saying that Cody Rhodes is getting stale right now. He's definitely not. As a babyface, I think he's doing a great job, but the WWE wants to kind of you know, jump at the curb, and you know, they kind of want to do this before it gets too stale. And what better way than him pairing himself with the man who just a year ago at WrestleMania 40 was, you know, harassing his mom, harassing him, making him bleed in Chicago. I mean, the story would literally be brilliant. I think the only thing that kind of confuses me is how did they just go from being enemies to being friends with really no explanation? But like I said, the end goal is for The Rock to find somebody who's going to be at the mountaintop. And this creates so many stories because it's like Roman Reigns is going to start to think, I just got betrayed by my own blood. And it's going to set off Roman Reigns, and he's going to go on a rampage like he's never been before. Except this time he's going to be a pure white hot babyface. That would be, you'd be printing money. And for a heel Cody Rhodes, take a look back at Ring of Honor. I mean, he's an exceptional heel. I want him to dye his hair black and start rocking black suits, and man, a heel Cody Rhodes would just change the game. And it's a story that you could tell for 3-4 years, and Cody Rhodes is probably going to stick around in the company for the next 6 or 7 years, so he can carry the company literally for the next 6 or 7 years as a heel potentially, right? Maybe a heel run for maybe 3-4 years where he dominates completely as a heel, and then he reverts back to a babyface. And honestly, look, he doesn't have to stay champion for the next 3 or 4 years or anything like that. I mean, he's not going to go on a Roman Reigns type of run, but the stories you could tell could be stories that you could do without the championship, and they could be massive stories, and you could tell them, like I said, without a championship. Cody Rhodes is the guy to make heel, and especially if you do it a certain way. If you have him turn heel at WrestleMania against John Cena, probably one of the biggest baby faces in the company, literally the WWE's poster boy. And remember what John Cena told Cody Rhodes, right? When he first won the title. That title is going to hold weight as the days go on. You see, when Cody Rhodes beat Roman Reigns for the undisputed title at WrestleMania 40, he had all of his friends, right? He literally brought out the Avengers of the WWE to beat Roman Reigns. As the year has gone on, that title has done something to Cody Rhodes that I don't even think he's noticing, because he's losing so many friends, and he's kind of like fixating between the dark side and the babyface 101 side, where he's catering to the fans. He wants the fans to love him, and he wants to do right by the fans, but he's also not doing right by his friends. I think Cena's the perfect guy to really push Cody Rhodes and like really push him to his limit, causing Cody Rhodes to potentially turn heel and joining that dark side. So, I mean, Cena turning his back on Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes turning his back on John Cena and like literally turning heel on him, that would be the best possible move you could do, and it would generate so much heat for Cody Rhodes. So those are literally the 3 names that I do have. And also, actually, I have one more thing. There was a post that Cody Rhodes had made a couple of days ago about traveling a road that not many people would travel. And here's a screenshot of it right up here. He made that post on Instagram the other day. You know, read into it, see what y'all think. These are just my thoughts. Let me know what y'all think down in the comment section. Thank you guys for tuning into this video. I'm going to try to drop another video later on in this week. But with that being said, thank you guys. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. Peace.